This morning on Daybreak, one organization in the Ozarks discusses the importance of having a mentor.
And a man who's dedicated 60 years of his life to serving Springfield says he tells us why he will not be running for re-election.
And proper voter ID is discussed in Missouri's Supreme Court. What you need to know about it and more coming up this morning for you on Daybreak.
Welcome back into the show. It's Wednesday, January 15th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano, as we are sitting here talking ever since the break now just about the luxury of streaming, right?
Yeah, you were schooling us on the history of Netflix and how it started off as DVDs.
I can't believe she didn't know that.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I've slept a lot since those days.
Mail-to-home DVD, basically, and it was very convenient and everything else. And I think the binge thing is what everyone likes, but thank you guys for watching us every day, right?
Hey, you can binge watch us on ozarksfirst.com.
Very true.
We clip our webcast every day.
Oh, my God.
Look at this one, always thinking. I like that. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we're here every day, just like your favorite shows, right?
You probably care most, though, about what's happening today, and we got you covered with that, including Beth, who is watching some more fog.
I feel like a broken record.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry that we've got more fog this morning. I don't think we'll have any tomorrow, though.
Tough to deal with, but you really got to be careful. Right?
Yeah, you really need to leave extra space between you and the car in front of you, and you do need to take it slow. We have patchy to dense fog, especially south of the interstate, much like we've had over the past several days. So we've got a dense fog advisory until 9 a.m., especially in north central Arkansas. We're at less than a mile visibility down in Branson. We're at about 7 in West Plains and in Mountain Home at about 5 in Harrison. We're starting to see some of that fog on the Branson camera. It's 41 degrees right now on a south and east wind at about 3 miles per hour. It is warmer than it was yesterday morning. We're at 50 already in Springfield, 50 in Mountain Grove, 49 up in Rolla, and 55 out in Joplin. About 5 to 15 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. Today is going to be the last day of our warming trend. Temperatures this afternoon will make it into the upper 50s for a warmer afternoon than yesterday. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, maybe a light shower or two as a front comes in today. Doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, though, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. We've got that dense fog advisory south and east. That cold front interacts with that moisture today. We've got an icy mix to talk about for Friday morning. Good news is that will transition over into a cold rain for Friday night. We'll do that in just a few minutes.
New this morning for you, January is National Mentoring Month, although 1 in 3 young people will grow up without one.
Color 10's Nija McDonald visited Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Ozarks to learn firsthand the impact a mentor can have on a child. Nija?
Well, good morning, Lauren and Joe. The people at Big Brothers Big Sisters say being a mentor is as simple as showing up when you say you're going to, but they say your impact is significant. Mentoring at its core guarantees a young person that there is someone who cares about them.
It's really a consistent relationship that you have in your life
That can have a positive effect in a variety of situations.
where it can tell them, hey, here's a different path to go. Maybe you don't have to do this behavior. You don't have to repeat some of these behaviors that you see every day in your family.
At-risk youth who have a mentor are 55% more likely to enroll in college.
It can really change a kid's perspective on life, on what paths they choose.
Yet 1 in 3 young people will grow up without this critical asset.
We always struggle finding male mentors. It's a tough one. We have a lot of little boys on our wait list, so any given time we're going to have 30 to 65 boys sit on our wait list.
We have all these young men out there who, live with just their mom or have a dad who's not in the picture or a dad who may be incarcerated. I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
As a match specialist, Potts works very closely with the littles.
For whatever reason, men are just more reluctant to sign up, but what they don't realize is they have the opportunity to really impact a young man and show him, what life can be.
Potts says it starts with just showing up.
It's like they become part of your family, and that's how a lot of my bigs characterize it. Is he's like my true little brother.
She says youth who are mentored show improved behavior both at home and school, and better self-esteem and self-confidence. Well, are you interested in becoming a mentor or just want to learn a little more about the program? Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Ozarks is hosting a Bigs orientation today from noon until 1 p.m. Visit our website at ozarksfirst.com for more information.
All right, thank you, Nija. In today's political coverage, a pillar of public service in Greene County has announced this will be his last year as Greene County Commissioner. Herald Bench says he will finish this year out and retire at the end of 2020. The soon-to-be 85-year-old says there wasn't any one specific thing that made him want to call it a career after a total of 61 years of public service. But he certainly is looking forward to spending time with his wife, Darlene.
In that 61 years, she has never failed to support me in whatever I felt I needed to do. So that was a hard decision to make. Looking at what we are accomplishing, what has been set before us, I felt that this might be a good time to decide to step aside and put my efforts in community activities as well as in doing some things that we haven't done because I didn't have time.
Bench also spent 45 years as the head of the Springfield Greene County Health Department.
Missouri Governor Mike Parsons' State of the State addresses today. We're expecting him to focus on workforce development and job training in his speech. Other topics the governor is likely to address, though, are transportation funding and then also ways to fight crime. Lawmakers from both major parties have differing opinions on how Missouri is doing.
As far as the budget goes and as far as, what we should be feeling, the tangible impact that we can have on Missourians, I think we're in a really good spot. Hopefully we can continue that.
We're not taking care of the developmental disability community. We have a wait list for the first time in years where people who need care from institutions don't have that access. And so those are tremendous priorities in the healthcare arena.
Another priority for Democrats in Jefferson City is Medicaid expansion. We'll have coverage of the State of the State from Jefferson City later on today.
Some need-to-know information about voting in Missouri. The Missouri Supreme Court shot down a controversial piece of the voter ID law that has to do with photo IDs. 5 were in favor of not requiring a photo ID when voting, against the 2 who voted with it. The law has been changed multiple times already. It required Missourians to represent a photo ID when voting, but was stalled in 2018. It also required people who showed up to vote without a photo ID to sign an affidavit saying they are who they say they are. The final word for now, you don't need to show a photo ID to vote, and signing an affidavit to prove identity, according to the Missouri Supreme Court, is unconstitutional.
It's been a hardship for a lot of people to be able to fulfill the requirements for that photo ID. And our contention as the league has always been that there is not a problem with voter fraud, that this is more voter suppression, making it harder for people to be able to vote, when voting should be one of those things that can be the easiest thing we do as a citizen.
Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft has not gotten back to us for comment, but he did say this in a news release. The people of Missouri made it clear in November of 2016 that it is reasonable to require a photo ID to vote. That voter ID law strengthened protections at the ballot box and, just as importantly, expanded access to the ballot, ensuring registered voters would no longer be turned away on Election Day.
We've got some good news for you this morning as well. 2 Greene County Sheriff's deputies were recognized yesterday for helping out an elderly couple. Last month, deputies Austin Adams and Chuck Baxter responded to a woman calling 911 asking for help with her laundry. Deputy Adams knows it was an odd call, so he didn't know what to expect, but upon arriving, they discovered the couple was immobilized. Deputy Baxter stayed with them to make sure everything was okay, while Adams went to the store and got supplies for them. And they also got the man some medical care.
Very, very thankful. They kept wanting to give me money, and it's like, no, it's fine. Like, just take care of yourself, and they were very appreciative.
I hope that people see this story and know that we're out there to help them. We're not out there just to write tickets and make things difficult for people. We like to help and do what we can to make sure people are in good shape and have everything they need.
We're starting off this morning with dry roads and clear conditions here in Springfield. We do have some low visibility, especially south and east of I-44, where a dense fog advisory is in effect for north central Arkansas until 9 o'clock this morning. We've got rain chances to talk about, plus a slick morning commute for the day on Friday is possible. We'll do all that right after the break.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.